Hi, Maria here again, and thank you for being here, listening, and watching these videos, and thank you for your feedback. And today I have something that I discussed with a friend, and I have permission from her to discuss this with you today. And it's when yoga may hurt at first, and then the pain subsides as you continue to practice. This friend of mine had an experience where she did go to a yoga class, and the teacher during Shavasana, they did the practice, the 1 hour long practice, and then at the end of the class, that's when everybody goes and lays down on the floor, and they integrate the experience of that particular yoga class, whatever the yoga teacher was teaching that day, that session, yoga class session. So one of the things that she brought to my attention, and she wanted my feedback on it, was that the teacher during the class, during Shavasana at the end, during integration, the teacher said, "You are the creator of all of your experiences." And that particular statement threw my friend for a loop. It actually triggered her with her PTSD symptoms, and she just wanted to just throw it by me, see what I thought, and just help her go through the whole process and help her process that trigger. And so one of the things is that, she's like, how could that have been my creation? How did I bring that experience, her sexual abuse, that she was abused when she was 12 years old? How could that experience could have been her creation? And first of all, there's nothing, I'm going to share with you my thoughts that I shared with her. There's nothing that you could have done, my girlfriend included, no one. There's nothing that you could have done that you could have brought that onto yourself. Any sexual abuse, attack, car accident, any type of trauma event. There's nothing that the person, you or my girlfriend, could have done at that age, especially at the age of 12, that would say it was okay for the attacker to have sexual abuse to her. It absolutely was not her fault, as it is not your fault. So that, like the law of attraction, I also say, you are the creator of your experiences, but I say from the point of today on forward. And we are to some point co-creators. We do create some things. But when it comes to something like that, an attack like that at the age of 12, younger or after any age, at the age of 100, it doesn't matter. That attack is not brought on by you. So one of the questions that she had, it brought up a lot of her shame back up to the forefront. And one of the questions that she kept asking is like, maybe I wore something that was provocative, that brought him on to me. And I said, nope. And she was saying, maybe it was something, maybe I was being flirtatious because I was 12 years old and I was just, experiencing my experiences in regards to, learning to be a woman. And I said, nope, nothing that you could have done would make it okay. And that's something that I want to talk to you today about, is that yoga may hurt at first, because when someone like my girlfriend has lived with so much stress in her life, then when you start to settle, when you start to learn how to relax your body again, and when your body has been hijacked by PTSD symptoms for so long, it doesn't know how to relax at first. And that's something that you need to teach your body how to do. And something like a trauma, and trauma can be experienced depending on what it was by many different people in many different ways. And your way is your way. And my girlfriend's way is her way. My way is my way. So, and there's no perfect way of how to deal with trauma. There's no perfect way on how to learn to remind the body how to relax. There's no perfect way. There's so many ways to heal, and every way and every body is very different. So a trauma event such as like a violent attack, a sexual abuse, divorce can be very traumatizing. A natural disaster can be very traumatizing. I just went to Oregon. I just passed the last week with my daughter in Oregon, and I went to the museum, and in the museum they're still talking about Mount St. Helen, and people are still writing in the museum their experiences, where they were, what happened, some teachers that were there, and the teachers are still talking to the students about it. Yes, it is a natural disaster, but it was also traumatizing for a lot of people. And another event can be a car accident, like I said, a miscarriage, the loss of a parent, the loss of a child, being verbally abused or physically abused for just being a woman of color, or being a man of color, or being queer. I mean, there's so many ways that people can experience trauma, and they will experience it differently, as you will, you are, I am, or I will in the future. So depending on how your brain, your central nervous system interprets these events, are going to define how you experience it. And it's your experience and yours alone. For example, a plane crash. There could be a crash, and a lot of people can experience that same particular plane crash. Hundreds of people can survive, and they will say, some will have PTS symptoms for days. Some people will have PTS symptoms for years and years. And some will just say, oh my God, this is the best day in my life. I actually have a second chance to live. And if it wasn't for this plane crash, I would have blah, blah, blah. And thanks to this plane crash, and they just rave about how thankful they are for this plane crash. And those are the types of people that will either experience PTSD later. Maybe they won't. Maybe it's just that's how they are wired, and that's okay. Everybody is okay. And and those people may be like, why are you PTSing? Like, this is like the best thing. But that's their experience. They're not PTSing, but you may be. And a plane crash is traumatizing for anyone, and may not be traumatizing for any. So every experience is very different depending on your central nervous system, which I've been speaking about for months now. And one of the leftovers of any particular event is also the experience and the feelings of feeling shame. And my girlfriend was experiencing shame even while she was talking to me, because I'm not going to judge her. Obviously, there's no, it is what it is. She experienced it. She got triggered. It is what it is. And we deal with it as it comes. The more you feel shame to either go to a yoga class, the more power you're giving to the shame. Okay. If you want to experience whatever it is, of it, and as an experience, you being alone, like, it's like the first thing ever. Like last week, I went and I hiked this mountain that I've never seen before, I've never been to, and it was the most beautiful experience that I could have ever experienced. And I was alone in the woods for a very long time, and I wouldn't have been able to do that 10 years ago. But that's what happens when you feel comfortable enough, and your body knows how to settle. It knows how to take in the woods, the healing of what it's like to be in the forest. And in the beginning, of my journey, I wouldn't have been able to be in the woods. Fuck that shit. I would not have been able. Like, there's no fucking way. So now it's like, yes, it's an amazing experience, and some people experience it very differently. Even like my girlfriend today, she's like, there's no fucking way that I'm going to go into the woods by myself. Well, that's, everybody is in their journey at very different points in their life. And so that's an internal residual effect of the trauma, is that the shame, if you allow it, will rob you from experiencing experiences that you want to experience, but you don't, because you're either too ashamed or you feel too much fear. And sometimes too, another thing that we talked about was how sometimes in the yogic practice, it's like, yoga, you need to feel centful, you need to feel peaceful, and feeling anger. Well, no, you can't feel anger because that's not yogi. Well, depending on where you are in your journey of healing, you are entitled to feel anger. You're fucking human. You can feel whatever it is that you need to feel. It is your experience. And that's what's beautiful about yoga. Yoga is the journey of you. Yoga means union. So yoga is you becoming unified with yourself, connecting to yourself. However that looks for you, that's yours. No one can take that from you. It is your experience. It is your life. You do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself, regardless to whatever it is that the yoga teacher says or does or wants you to do or puts you in a pretzel or whatever, and you're not ready for that pretzel. So, like, you do you. You will learn as you go along. You'll learn how to say, nope, that's not for me. And remember, every time you say yes to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. If it's not a full yes, it is a no. And if it's not a full no, it's a not yet. So just know, it's either yes, no, or not yet. Just, keep that with you in mind and keep it in your pocket. So whenever you need it, you have your permission to say yes, no, or not, maybe later, or whatever it is, until it's a full yes, until your whole body feels the yes. And that's what you do. So yoga, in regards to yoga and meditation, I always say that guided meditation and guided yoga, it's the best because it allows your body and for you and your body to feel connected in as one at that moment in time. And that's why when you have someone cueing you correctly and properly and safely, you will feel safe enough to move your body, whether it's in guided meditation or whether it's in yoga or whatever, that you feel safe enough to allow your body to shake or do whatever it is, because your body will shake the trauma out. That's one of the processes that the body will do in regards to allowing the body, allowing the trauma to leave the body. So it is okay for you to feel anger. It is okay for you to feel sadness and to feel the loss, whatever loss was for you during your life. I don't know what that is. And so during your yoga practice, the yoga, when I say may hurt at first, it's when your body begins to learn to relax. Yoga is going to feel uncomfortable. Guided meditation is going to feel uncomfortable. You may not like it at first. It's good for you because you're trying to teach your body to relax. You're trying to get in touch with your parasympathetic system, which is your rest and digest parasympathetic system, which is the system of your body that will help you heal for long-term processes of your whole life. So the more you do yoga, the more it may hurt at first and uncomfortable at first. Not going to hurt you, like physically hurt you, although it can feel like that. But as you continue to practice your yoga, you continue to practice your guided meditations, then you'll be able to sit in silent meditation. But until then, do what feels good for you and only for you, not for somebody else. These are the thoughts that I shared with my girlfriend. So your PTS symptoms while you're doing your therapeutic process, while you're in therapy, while you're doing your yoga or your guided meditation, as you learn to relax, your PTS symptoms may either increase. So your stress level may increase at first and then it'll subside as you continue to remind your body that it feels good to relax, that it feels good to be distressed. Some people don't even know what that is. It just doesn't, they're not in touch with themselves that well. So another practice that you can use is also restorative yoga. Think about the word restorative. So it's to restore wellness back into your life. I also like to play with words so your feelings are stored in your body. So restorative yoga, to store, getting deep inside yourself, getting into the stored feelings, bringing them out, go into the shadows. I talked to another girlfriend of mine about shadow work. Going into the shadows, bringing light into those crevices of us, psyche, whatever, body, internal, just go into those crevices, getting those stored feelings, getting them out, experience them, give them light, give them healing, and then you can store those feelings again in a healthy way. I'm going to share with you a guided meditation. I haven't written it yet, but I'm going to write it in the next few days just so that you can remember how to relax, how to feel calm. And at first it may not feel good, but as you continue with your practice, then you'll be able to remember how to relax, how to stay in touch with yourself, how to become yoga with you. You become connected to yourself, connected in union with your mind, your body, and your soul, which is marrying the whole self, your whole entire body. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will record the meditation and I will post it, and it's for you. So hopefully you can create some healing and remember how to relax. Remember what you came here for. There's always a purpose. You came here for something, and let the people see what you came here for. You have a message inside of you, just like I do, and just like everybody else in the world. Speak your truth. Someone out here somewhere needs to speak, needs to hear what you have to say, because what you have to say is medicine for everybody else that will listen. Okay? Thank you once again, Maria Rivera Heath. And my website is mriveraheath.com. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and many blessings to you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.